Perhaps you disagree with the Dark Lord. Perhaps you think that Dumbledore would not have noticed if I had joined forces with the Death Eaters to fight the Order of the Phoenix. And forgive me, you speak of dangers. You were facing 6 teenagers, were you not? The dark arts are many, varied, ever-changing, and eternal. Fighting them is like fighting a many-headed monster, which each time a neck is severed, sprouts a head even fiercer and cleverer than before. You are fighting that which is unfixed, mutating, indestructible. That is just as well, Potter, said Snape coldly, because you are neither special nor important, and it is not up to you to find out what the Dark Lord is saying to his Death Eaters. No, that's your job, isn't it? Harry shot at him. He had not meant to say it. It had burst out of him in temper. For a long moment they stared at each other, Harry convinced he had gone too far. But there was a curious, almost satisfied expression on Snape's face when he answered. Yes, Potter, he said, his eyes glinting. That is my job. Then you will find yourself easy prey for the Dark Lord. Fools who wear their hearts proudly on their sleeves, who cannot control their emotions, who wallow in sad memories and allow themselves to be provoked this easily. Weak people, in other words. They stand no chance against his powers. He will penetrate your mind with absurd ease, Potter. Would you like me to do it now? Asked Snape, his voice heavy with irony. Or would you like a few moments to compose an epitaph? Snape set his wineglass down, gently enough the clunk was barely audible, leaned back a little in his chair with a sigh. He was silent a moment, fingers softly drumming against the surface of the table, staring blankly at the wall to Liz's left. As many times as I have intervened on behalf of one of my students, your circumstances are unique. Never have I been presented with a situation where a child has nowhere to go. Normally there are cousins who would suit, perhaps a friend of the family, or at the very least I can go to the Office of Child Welfare at the Ministry. However, none of those options are available in your case. And so I have been forced to take exceptional measures. No, Snape said shortly, trying not to wrinkle his nose at the bright bag on Dumbledore's desk. You know perfectly well my thoughts on Muggle sweets, Dumbledore. I am well aware of the tension between the two of you, Snape said silkily. I expect that this tension will cause no problems in any way related to the Slytherin Quidditch team. Both boys shook their heads to indicate it wouldn't. I will hold the both of you to that agreement rather forcefully. I care not for what you do off of the pitch. I do not expect a friendship, but I expect a cohesive team that can return the plaque to my office that I have become so accustomed to seeing on my wall. This time both boys nodded. Boys. 10 points from Gryffindor for blatant disrespect of your superiors, Snape said softly. And I believe a detention this Saturday would be most elucidating for you. Perhaps then you may even be able to recognize them. Snape wrinkled his nose slightly. Honestly, he didn't know how that made things fair, or what fairness even meant in this context. Gryffindor sentimentality, he assumed. Or perhaps the headmaster thought his own sensitive matter was more controversial than Snape's, and he believed that granting a request before making one would make Snape more inclined to assist. No, Snape said bluntly. It is fantastically unlikely that you will be able to develop even the most rudimentary occlumency shields before the Quirrell situation resolves itself one way or another. Consider this more of a long-term self-enrichment project. While the text will be immediately useful in improving memory and defending against some more obvious psychic attacks, it will likely take you a minimum of 2 to 3 years of consistent study and practice before you can reliably defend yourself against any competent legilimens.